Financial difficulties, bad weather, low commodity prices, even lost markets due to the trade wars. All these factors weigh on the mind of many Virginia farmers every day. And some of them are having difficulty dealing with all the stress. Dr. Amy Johnson, a nurse practitioner, works with mental health issues in the Bedford area and is also part of the farm community.
It's not something that is looking to end anytime soon. So, over time, these situations build and it creates compounded stress, and the stress over time weighs on the farmers and their families, and it increases the risk of mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. And when they're having to make these decisions, it increases the risk of injuries on the farm, and it increases the risk of marital stress. It increases the risk of stress between families and farm transition, and ultimately it can lead to the loss of family farms and even the loss of life.
Emotional stress can cause even the most optimistic farmers to doubt that things will turn around. Smaller scale producers have limited options for marketing their products and in some cases have to take whatever prices they can get.
It makes you not sleep very much. You worry all the time. Input costs have doubled and tripled in some cases. Equipment, land, what we have to pay to have employees. But we're not getting that in return. We've lost the public in many instances. So, the public's so far removed from agriculture, we can't talk to anybody because nobody really understands, except our very small group that's involved in agriculture. So it's challenging for everybody in their head because you don't really know who you can talk to. It's competitive amongst each other, our contemporaries. It's a very awkward place to be.
In addition to their financial assets, many farmers have a measure of self-worth tied up in their operations. Some rely on hope and faith to get them through difficult economies when they can't figure out a clear way through it.
If you really can just take time and break the monotony of the same old thing, which is hard for farm people because we have to be here every day to feed or check on things or be with the crops. But you have to take time to break away from it and think about other things to enjoy that. And sometimes that's just talking to your neighbors and being real with them and being honest, which is hard to do because they're your competitors. So it's hard to talk with your competitors about what's really going on. But hopefully somebody, neighbor, friend, maybe they don't even farm, can just listen and talk it out with you, and sometimes that really helps.
Groups like the Virginia Farm Bureau Federation and the State Agriculture Department have recognized that stress is becoming more of a problem in rural Virginia. Dr. Jewel Brana of the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services has announced the formation of a Farmer Stress Task Force to raise awareness of these issues in the farming community and connect farmers who need it with help. One sign that someone is struggling with stress is a change in habits and personality. They may be sleeping less or too much. They may be losing their appetite or acting more irritable than normal.
Farming is a very important industry, and it's not an easy industry on a good day, but certainly when we're faced with challenges that we haven't seen in years past, and this farm crisis is certainly one that is unique and nowhere near comparable to ones in the past. That adds a whole new degree of stress. And we are in a new era of technology that adds more difficulties than we've seen before. It's a very real struggle, realizing that if a farmer does have to make the decision that they have to give up the farm, that they're not a failure because they didn't make it, and all of their predecessors did, because this is a whole different age of farming now. So, it's being very supportive and being there for them when they need it most.
Johnson says communication is a key tool to use if you need help or want to help someone else. Talk about the issues with family, friends, or others in the community. If that turns out to be too difficult, find a professional therapist or a doctor. By working together, farmers and their families can get through difficult times and in the end grow stronger. In Bedford County, this is Dave Miller.